Hi everyone, I'm Dawn. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for visiting with me today. It is time for a car vlog, so I have to make my quick disclaimer. Yes, I am driving, but I have both hands on the wheel. My device is on my filming device is on a thing, a holder or whatever you want to call it. I am focusing on driving. That's why at some points I might get very quiet. That's just because I'm focusing on driving. I don't really have a targeted thing to talk about right now. But, you know, I always think of something. And probably just a collection of things. Like, I think I usually do that in the car. I am very excited that I have another Disney trip coming up. I'm very, very excited about that. And it's going to be me and Marshall. And that's always fun. Eric is actually going on a trip with me in December to Disney. So I'm excited about that too. Because it's almost an act of magical intervention to get him to go to Disney. It's not really. He would do anything I want him to do with me. I just know he doesn't always love it, so I try to keep him out of it. But the thing we're going to, he wants to come to with me because he can ride Rise of the Resistance, which is, well, now that I've ridden Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind, now it's the second most awesome ride in the world, or at Disney World. But, so and it's still sunshiny and raining. So I dropped Marshall off and then I had to run in the store and it was all sunshiny out. So I went inside, I bought 4 items and came out and it was pouring down rain. And now it's still raining, but the sun is out. So the rain is probably gonna stop soon. Windshield wipers. They're not bad, but it's time for some new ones. So I passed several voting precincts on my way to take Marshall to work, and I see there's a lot of people out, you know, early voting. I don't like to vote early. I guess I'm a traditionalist. I like to vote on voting day. What we usually do is we go vote and then we go have tacos. But I don't know, because our Halloween tradition is also every Halloween we go and have Mexican food. I don't know what the connection is, but that just always seemed to be what would happen. You know, for years we've always gone. Now my favorite place to go shut down, and then they had one in Sanford, and then that one shut down. So and Eric's favorite Mexican restaurant here shut down, and they had one in Orlando, and then that one shut down. Anytime we find something we like, it shuts down. So there's a new restaurant that opened up on the boardwalk at Disney World, and it's called the Cake Bake Shop. You know, it's a bakery and a restaurant. And everything, all the food and all the cakes look amazing, but it is way overpriced. And it's not a matter of I don't have that kind of money to spend on it. It's not that. It's that I can't. Oh, that just sounded so snooty of me. It's like, I can certainly afford it. That sounded just so snooty of me. I didn't mean it to sound like that. But I think their cakes are between, I think, $19 and $26. And when I say cake, I mean for a slice of cake. Not a whole cake. Nay. A slice of cake. And not like a big slice, just a normal, regular slice of cake. Between $19 and $26, depending on what you get. And in the restaurant, their food prices are, even for Disney, I think that they are high. And they even lowered their prices, because when prices were originally like leaked or whatever, people raised hell. And so they even lowered some of their prices. Like an Eggs Benedict was like $42, and then they lowered the price to $26, which I still think is insane. So even by Disney standards, they're way overpriced, even since they lowered their prices. And I just can't justify spending $26 on a slice of cake. I can't. I mean, $26 for a slice of cake? Are you kidding me? Sorry, I had to make a stop. But yeah, I'm not paying $19 for a slice of cake, and I'm definitely not paying $26 for a slice of cake. I probably actually will, though, because I do have to review for my channel. You know? But I mean, how good can it be? I think it was the red velvet cake was like $24 or something. What warrants that price point? They were able to lower the Eggs Benedict from $42 to $26 or whatever it was. Tells me it is just greed. Because even though $26 is still a lot of money for some damn Eggs Benedict, that's still quite a reduction in price. The like two crab cakes are like, I think $50 or something like that. And I've had some excellent crab cakes around here, these parts, for, you know, made with blue crab and a lot of crab and not so much bread, for a lot less than $50 for two of them. In fact, when I was a little kid, you know, I grew up in a little shrimping village, and my mom, if she felt like, or my dad, if they felt like dealing with crabs, they would, my mom would give me some chicken quarters, which were like dirt cheap back then, and give me and my brother chicken quarters, and we'd get out our crab traps and walk up to the river's edge and catch some blue crab. And we always had success. And then we'd bring them home, and my mom would make, you know, she'd make crab cocktail, she'd make crab cakes, you know, and it was, you know, out of necessity. And now it's like a gourmet item. So yeah, I know. And it's not a Disney-owned establishment, so don't blame Disney. Disney is renting the property to them. It's a privately owned restaurant. You know, it's owned like, you know, Morimoto's or Art Smith's Homecoming. It's owned by someone else, and it just happens to be on Disney property. And there's no annual pass holder discount or anything like that. So that's kind of annoying. But I mean, I get it. The restaurant just opened, but still, those prices. Those prices, though. I think a bowl of soup was like close to $20, if not $20. So anyway, enough about that. But it is a beautiful restaurant. I've watched some videos of people going there, and it is a beautiful restaurant. It's very beautiful. But you can go eat at the Grand Floridian Cafe for less than that and have excellent food and be in that beautiful Grand Floridian hotel, you know? which people have been trash talking lately, and I don't like that. Grand Floridian is my favorite resort there. Actually, no, I think Fort Wilderness Lodge is my favorite resort. So I'll stop talking about Disney now. I'm making harissa pasta tonight. It's ground beef or ground meat or whatever kind of, or you could use chicken, whatever. And harissa, and you could do onions, mushrooms, whatever. You saute it all together with the meat, you cook it, make your pasta. And then you add cheese. I'm doing Parmesan cheese. And you just kind of mix it together. It's really good. Harissa is nice because it has a little bit of heat to it, but it's just the right amount of heat for me, because you know I can't handle hot foods. I love hot foods, but I can't handle them. Hot, I mean spice, you know. These people, man, drive like nobody else is on the road. So selfish. So selfish. Since we're buying a house off for at least another year, we were thinking of moving and renting a house instead of staying in an apartment. I like my little apartment. It's not a little apartment. Our apartment's quite big, actually. And I like it, but I'd just rather find a house so I can have a yard. So, you know, I'd like a fenced yard so Brian can run around if he feels like it and stuff, you know. Because, you know, we take Brian out a lot, and we take him to the dog park where he can run around without a leash. But if there's another dog in there, I have to put him on his leash. Not because of him, but because all these other dogs in that neighborhood are so aggressive. Like, keep your dog on a leash if he can't behave himself. Like, one of the rules is your dog has to be able to behave himself. So I fell asleep last night with Django sleeping on my chest. And when I woke up this morning, he was sleeping on my chest still. So I don't know if he was there all night. I don't know if he maybe got up and ran around throughout the night and then came back and laid back down, but so sweet. I'm pretty sure Django's the reincarnation of my Chihuahua, Tina. Just the timing of it all, you know? So I'm driving through, and I tell y'all this all the time, I always come this way. I'm driving through my university. I mean, not through it, but like through the university property, because it's just easier, in my opinion, to come this way. And but this is where I went to college. This is where I got my bachelor's degree and my master's degree. And the company I work for wants to send me back to college for a master's in business, but I don't know that I want to make that kind of commitment to this company, because, you know, I do my own thing too. I consult for, you know, people in HIPAA related battles. people were wondering how I get paid for consulting that way. And so how it works is, I have a fee for consulting. It's based on percentages, and I get paid whether the person wins their case or not, but like something like 95% of the people I've helped have won their cases. But the attorneys hire me. So I'm hired by the attorney. And so what happens is the attorney pays me. Now, in some cases, depending on the attorney, usually it's only just like personal injury attorneys that do this, but some attorneys also will, like different types of attorneys will not charge a fee if they lose the case. But usually that's just personal injury attorneys, at least around here. But the attorney gets paid from the settlement. So let's say the person sues someone for incorrectly using their medical records or for whatever reason. And they win their case, and let's say they win $500,000. So the attorney gets their percentage of that, which is usually like 40%, which I know that's crazy. That's a lot of money. And then I'm paid from that 40%, but I get paid a percentage of the whole. So I get paid like 5% of the settlement or the awarded amount. So if they're awarded $500,000, then I would get paid for like 5% of that. I don't get 5% of whatever the lawyer gets. So as you can see, it can be quite lucrative. Usually the lawsuits aren't for that amount. Sometimes they are, but usually the lawsuits are for a lot less money than that, because usually it's just for defamation or something that has a monetary value to it. So I think that we had one a couple weeks ago that they won, and it was like $53,000, which isn't a lot of money, but it was on a person. It was on an individual, not an organization. Like it wasn't an insurance company or anything like that. So because it was, and usually they are against individuals, journalists, or like some type of like media conglomerate. It's rarely insurance companies. It's never hospitals, because HIPAA protects hospitals. So even if there's an inadvertent, the only time a hospital would get in trouble is if it was intended injury, and usually it's the individual, like say a nurse gets pissed off at a patient and starts telling people he has AIDS or something. That's a HIPAA violation. Whether he has AIDS or not is irrelevant. It's still a HIPAA violation, and she can get sued for that. The hospital can also get sued for that, but the hospital's so protected, the hospital's not going to lose a lawsuit like that, but that individual will be fired and can be sued. And because they're fired, they don't get any protection from the hospital. A lot of hospitals wouldn't protect them anyway, even if they didn't fire the person. But then you want to question, why wouldn't you fire someone that did something like that? You know what I'm saying? And I know I'm just babbling. I know it. Oh goodness, here we are, the constipated part of 295, and I gotta pee really bad. That was too much information, I know. scheduled for tomorrow morning, but I canceled it because I can't go to it. And I've been trying to schedule a mammogram since like January, but things keep happening and stuff. And I know it's important. I have to do it. I know. I'll do it in November. November seems like a good time to do it. But anyway, I guess that's it. I've gone on long enough about nonsense. So I'm going to go, and I will talk to all of you later.